Alright guys, we are on section 2.1 of the Student Journal. That's on page 33, adding and subtracting polynomials. So if we look at this diagram kind of carefully, it represents this to the right here. So we have 3x plus 2, or 1x, 2x, 3x. So each of these represents an x. Each of these represents a 1. So I have positive x, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and negative 5. So if we just rewrite it right here, we just group them together. So you have 3 x's, another x, that makes 4 x's. And then we have plus 2, and then minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you did not get that, again, each of these is an x, each of these is a 1, there's another x, and each of these is a negative 1. And then here, you see that they've grouped them together and put them out, which is just them canceling out. So what will that look like? We have 4x plus 2, that's these two, minus 2, that's these two, minus 3, that's the leftover on the outside. And 2 minus 2 is 0, so we can just cross that out. And then we finish off with 4x, 1, 2, 3, 4x, minus 1, 2, 3. All right, moving on. Again, it's the same concept except we have a new shape, and the only thing different here is this x squared. This is 1x, another x, that's 2x, plus 1, plus another one, that's plus 2. Except here we are subtracting. When we subtract, you'll see that this changed to a negative, this changed to a positive, and then you could just have a positive sign in between. So we could say x squared plus 2x, x squared, 1x, 2x, plus 2, plus negative x plus 1. And then grouping the similar stuff together, we have x squared plus 2x minus x. When I say grouping the similar stuff together, that means in this case putting the 2x with the negative x. Those are like terms. And then we have a plus 1, 2, 3. Let's see, how can I do this? So then I have x squared plus x, that's this x, plus x minus x plus 3. Again, they cancel out. We have x squared plus x plus 3. So how can you add and subtract polynomials? Really, it's just an issue of combining like terms. Combine like terms. If there is a negative, which is just another way of saying a subtraction sign, distribute it first. So when I say distribute, that means multiply everything by negative 1. You'll see what I mean with these examples. So here it says combine like terms. If there's a negative, to distribute it first. There's no negative in A, so let's just combine like terms. We have x squared plus 2x squared. That's one group. We have 2x, positive 2x, minus 2x. And lastly, we have negative 1 and positive 1. Notice that I'm taking the symbol from right in front. So if you see a minus sign, that counts as a negative. If you don't see any symbol, that means it's a positive, right? And then after we group them up, x squared, there's an invisible 1 here. 1x squared plus 2x squared is 3x squared. 2x minus 2x is 0. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. And this is our answer. For B, that would be grouping 4x plus x, 4x plus x, plus 3 minus 2. Again, it's just taking the symbol that's in front of it, and that's pretty much it. So I have 5x plus 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. 4x plus 1x is 5x. Here it says if there's a negative or subtraction, distribute it first. So this multiplied by negative 1 is currently positive, but it becomes negative. Positive 2x becomes negative 2x, and positive 5 becomes negative 5. So I have x squared plus 2 plus negative 3x squared minus 2x minus 5. And then I can group the like terms. So this will be x squared minus, I'm just taking the negative sign, 3x squared. There are no other x's, so I'll just take negative 2x. And then I have positive 2 plus negative 5. Positive 2 plus negative 5, which is the same thing as 2 minus 5. X squared minus 3x squared, 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Nothing happens here. There's nothing for it to combine with, and 2 minus 5 is negative 3. And there you have it. Lastly, for D, this will change. This is currently positive, will change to a negative. This is a minus sign, will change to a plus sign, and this plus sign will change to a minus sign. Here I can already combine like terms. 2x minus 3x is just negative x plus negative x squared plus 2x minus 4. So this becomes negative x squared. Negative x plus 2x is positive 1x. And this minus 4 just goes on at the end. Okay, there you have it. There is some vocab, but I think for the sake of this lesson, it will just make a lot more sense for me to just show you problems. Huh? Why isn't it focusing? Also, there's that issue. Focus. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, moving on. So the degree is highly dependent on the, let's go back. Polynomial is a monomial or sum of monomials. Binomial is 5x plus 2. There are 2 terms. A trinomial is 3 terms, so 1, 2, 3 terms. The leading coefficient, after you write something in standard form, which is what this is in, standard form is when the exponents of the terms decrease from left to right. So that means you start high and you go lower. So here the exponent is 3, then 2, then an invisible 1, and there are no x's there. So that counts. 3, 2, 1, and none. The leading coefficient is just the number, the very first number, the coefficient for the very first term. The degree is just the highest exponent, and then the constant just comes in at the end. This is for the degree of a polynomial, though. For a monomial, which we will go over, you just take the exponents, you take the total exponents. So here, this is 6s to the first power, so the degree is just 1. Same for w, this is to the first power, that is 1. Does this have a variable? 8. Nope, no variable, so we would just say 0. Here we have 3 variables, each with different powers, each with the same power. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. That's how you find degree, guys. You just take the total. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 plus 3 plus 1 is 6. 1 plus 3 is 4. And this is 0. But if you look at this, the degree is only 3, even though the total is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But for a polynomial, you don't take the total. When you have more than one term, you just take the highest one. When you have one term, then you just take the total, right? So here, write the polynomial in standard form, identify the degree and leading coefficient. So this will be in front because this 2 is the highest exponent we have. And then to go, and this is a positive, so I wrote positive 3x squared. This is a positive, so I can write plus x. And this is a positive, so I can write plus 5. Identify the degrees. The degree is just the leading the greatest exponent. So we have a 2, a 1, and a none there. And so the biggest one is 2. And the leading coefficient is just the number in front. So if you look at it, in this case, the leading coefficient is 3. The leading coefficient is the number in front. Leading coefficient 3. Here, there's nothing to do. So you just rewrite that. That's in standard form. The degree, what's the exponent here? It's an invisible 1. Leading coefficient, root 5. Number 11, we have 6x to the 8th power. Man, it's having a tough time. There it is. 6x to the 8th power, because 8 is greater than 5. So I'll go ahead and, this is positive, so I write it as a positive, and this is also positive. The degree is the highest number between these two, and in this case it is 8. And the leading coefficient is 6. Number 12, we have this is greater, the exponent is greater, so that's going to go first. And then this is the second greatest. And this is the last one. The degree is 4, and the leading coefficient. Now, you might think the first number you see is -2, but there's an invisible number here. It's a 1. So leading coefficient is 1. The leading coefficient is always way out front. Number 13 and the rest, I'm actually just going to leave, and you should do this. This is good practice. I'll do, let's see, 13. I'll have you do 13 and 19. Those are like 2 different difficulty levels. So just group what you have together. So you have -4x and positive 6x. So -4x plus 6x plus, this is a positive 9 minus 14. So -4x plus 6x is 2x. 9 minus 14 is -5. So a lot of you guys might make a mistake and say plus 5, but it's a 9 minus 14 is -5. So you should say, you could write plus -5, but it's faster to just write 2x minus 5. That's your answer, 2x minus 5. For number 19, this one, yeah, this one's pretty good. We have a minus sign here, so you have to distribute it. Notice, the subtraction sign only applies to what's after it, right? I did not make any lines over here. That's not how that works. So you have -x squared minus 5. This becomes a plus 3x squared plus x and plus 8. And now I will group the like terms. So I have a -x squared plus 3x squared. Boom, boom. And then I have an x, a plus x, just said plus x. And then I have a -5 plus 8. I said that so loud with that pause so you guys would see that it's a -5. Some people might look at this and say, oh, 5 plus 8 is 13. No, it's -5 plus 8 is positive 3. This becomes a -1x squared plus 3x squared, which is 2x squared plus x. And that'll be it. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, you guys are good to go. And now you know how to add and subtract polynomials.